Hello and welcome to Prime Business with me, Winston Taki, and out of our first business stories. Economist Dr. Patrick Isumin has described as prudent decision by Cocoa Board to halt external fundraising program for cocoa purchase. Cocoa Board at news conference announced that it will not be turning to the international market for its loan syndication to buy beans for this year. Dr. Isumin noted that decision couldn't have come at a better time.
Great idea. I think it's a great idea. I don't know why it has taken us this long to realize that this is what we should be doing. Because every time you go out there and take these syndicated loans, we end up paying a huge value of the cocoa that has been produced by hardworking farmers out to them. I think, my only wonder is why we have been going through this for long and we didn't do this early. I'm sure there could be, especially at the beginning, there could be some challenges, but I think whatever support that can be provided to Cocoa Board to make this work, we should let it happen. Because this is, I think it's the best thing I've heard from Cocoa Board.
The Ghana Cocoa Board says all is set to open the 2024-2025 cocoa crop season in 2 weeks, that is 1st of September to this year. Cocoa Board announced that it has also reviewed its initial production target for the season from 810,000 metric tons to 650,000 metric tons due to reforms undertaken to cut down old trees and plant new ones. In addition, it has rolled out an ambitious plant hot funding from offshore syndicated banks for the first time in 32 years. CEO of Cocoa Board, Joseph Boahin Edu, is hopeful of meeting the target.
Decision not to go offshore alone can save us all that money. And we need that money for other purposes. So, for the first time, we will not go. Bloomberg, if you haven't heard that we've gone to Europe to do roadshow or even doing any roadshow in Ghana, and also if you haven't seen us maybe go to Parliament, to make an application to go, you were studying the whole situation. And I think we've studied it for quite long and satisfied ourselves that we have to take a bold measure. If you've been taking breast milk for so many years, a point in time comes when you must be given, regular food. Yeah, your mother will wean you. So even if it doesn't, you have to wean yourself and then, move on. And I think this is a major step. It has never happened in the history of the cocoa industry.
The national security is going after 44 oil marketing companies over 60 million Ghana cedis owed by these firms. These are monies that the oil marketing firms have collected in levies and margins, but have failed to remit the funds to bulk oil storage and transportation company. Let's go on Zoom and speak to the chief executive of the Association of Oil Marketing Companies, Riverson Upon. Good evening and welcome to Prime Business. Now, let's first establish, are these 44 oil marketing companies still members of your association?
Thank you so much for the opportunity to be on the show today. I think for where I sit, it's still difficult for me to put a hand on these 44 oil marketing companies that Boss is referring to. An email I received from NPA, I think 2 months ago, was an indication that about 13 oil marketing companies had been revoked in terms of license operations. What I did was quickly write into the regulators, i.e. NPA and GRA, requesting for the debt status of these 13 oil marketing companies. I wrote to bust as well because there's still possibility of owing bust. Gladly, I received the bust figures within I think a week, and that amounted to around 17 million Ghana cedis owned by these 13 oil marketing companies. So this 44 that I have heard from you is still under I'll say our radar to know what amount to this 44. But what I will say is that once a company its license is revoked, you no more a member of the the OMC. However, we do not succumb to the fact that an OMC would come, operate, and raise debt instead of raising finance. We raise debt for the stakeholders to pay it. And this is money that needs to go to government. You'll be shocked that once they owe bust, for sure they owe GRA and they owe MPA. And whatever amount that you see owing bust will be probably 4 times or 3 times the amount that they owe GRA.
All right, Robertson, I'm sure you might have had interaction with these oil marketing companies. Have they been disclosed to you? Any challenge why they are refusing to pay? And basically, is there a challenge facing the sector as of now?
So I think this is a very serious matter. You'll be surprised. And first of all, I don't know why we even need national security here. I mean, at this point, the directors of the company's details are with MPA, because before any companies issue a license, MPA requests for company registration, right? So these names should be made public. I mean, within a second, you know. When it comes to their arrangements, there are, I'll say, measures put in place to avoid such debt to rise to those figures. Because, you know, when it comes to MPA, OMCs are usually given a full month to pay their levies to MPA. So let's say you lift XY volumes this month in June. You have latest by end of July to pay, after which any unpaid levies with respect to that month will result to the OMC being cut off the ERDMS. And that will render you non-operational until you pay your debt. GRA has the same measures. It's actually BOST who is susceptible to this kind of growing debt by these OMCs. One thing you'll be shocked to understand, I feel, be that these same directors who have established an OMC, raised this debt or accrued this debt, do have other OMCs running their names. So the question is, why would the stakeholders, I mean, why would the regulators allow directors who have OMCs accrue debt, kind of, I'll say, register another OMC and be in the system to operate? Where are the checks, you know? And at what point do we cut them off at the ERDMs? Because for GRE today, as it stands, is cash and carry.
Robertson, you know something, let's move away from this area and possibly look at the situation, the current impasse between the LPG marketers and the cylinder gas recirculation model. What should be the way forward currently?
Yeah, I think that's a very big topic that I'm sure we'll need a whole show to discuss.
Can you do that briefly for us?
Yes, I mean, we've had a lot of engagement with MPE and the LPG Marketing Association, which I would say is a subset of the EOMC broader umbrella. The traditional LPG marketing companies are scared of losing their job, looking at the way MPE is seriously marketing the CRM, you know. And they have a standpoint that they should be allowed to also be involved in the CRM in a way of having their cylinders also shown in baskets instead of selling. But the threat, according to MPE, is that they are afraid that they will fill those cylinders at their traditional filling station, which shouldn't be so. So as it stands, there are still dialogues going on between NPA and then LPG marketing companies to come into a mutual beneficial understanding, so that because the whole target is to have LPG, I would say, a penetration increase in Ghana.
Okay, before I let go of you, can you tell us possibly going into the next window, are we to expect a further reduction in petroleum prices? Just briefly.
Yeah, I mean, like I always say, there are so many things that accumulates to the pump price that we have. And the two major things that control our pricing today are the international flat prices, and also our cedi to dollar exchange rate. And you realize that the pump price went down a bit, and I was in Takrady with my team doing the mystery shopping. I asked a full attendant, and feel like now the regulators have reduced the price. They have not reduced any price because it's still deregulated. Is the cedi coming down? I mean, do better against the dollar, or flat price coming down? As far as we have flat prices coming down, which we have identified and which we have seen in the past 2 or 3 windows, once the flat price comes down, you're going to have the price at the pumps also coming down.
Thank you very much, Professor. It's really been a pleasure having you here on Prime Business. Now moving on, Gabriel Kumi, Vice Chairman of the LPG Marketers Association, has accused Sage Petroleum, a major LPG distributor, of monopolizing gas supply from a tribal gas processing plant. In an interview with Joy Business, Mr. Kumi emphasized the association's commitment to cease dealings with Sage Petroleum's the Tema port until National Petroleum Authority intervenes to resolve the issue.
It's a monopoly in Atrabu. I think it's about time we even look at the monopoly being enjoyed by Sage Petroleum at Atrabu. Ghana Gas has built their own loading gantry, but Sage Petroleum has monopolized Atrabu gas, LPG, for the past 10 years. And there's the time as a nation we take a second look at it. Blue Ocean have no facility at Atrabu. We don't load from Blue Ocean at Atrabu. We load from only Sage Petroleum. And these two companies have depots at Tema. And these are the depots that we have decided that their activities are inimical to our survival, and that we are not going to do business with these two depots at Tema. There's nowhere we have mentioned at trouble. So we are surprised, we were shocked when he kept on ranting and trying to press the panic button, trying to call on national security. National security is a very noble institution. They call us all the time. We explain our issues to them, and they understand. Again, we have never said anywhere that we are not lifting gas from Sage Petroleum at Atrabu. Our letter was specific to Tema depots. We didn't mention Atrabu. And the time for us to even go back to Atrabu is 26. Which is not right yet. So why is he jumping the gun? This propaganda of a regulator must stop. I mean, you should be more serious than this. This is the regulator's attempt to pitch us against the nation, and that which is not jiving, which is not washing. We are not going to do anything to jeopardize the security of our nation.
The Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, Abinau Asare, insists revenue measures being proposed by the New Patriotic Party's candidate, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, will improve compliance and take in more revenue. According to the Member of Parliament for Itiwa East constituency, the proposed reforms will not affect the current IMF arrangement, but improve the country's domestic revenue base. She spoke at the 12th Annual International Tax Conference in Accra.
Annual International Tax Conference creates a unique platform for policymakers, academia and tax professionals to share ideas on improving the country's tax regime. Ghana is under pressure to improve its domestic revenue inflows, hence the need to deepen conversations on the country's tax net. Ahead of the 2024 elections, government is confident that proposed tax reforms by the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, will improve tax compliance and thereby increase the country's domestic revenue. Abinau Asare, Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, insists that government is on course to improve its domestic revenue mobilization targets.
And in encouraging people to comply with these taxes, you don't necessarily have to increase taxes, but then you broaden the base. Once you broaden the base, if you broaden the base and you even tweak your taxes downwards, it can go a long way to improve and then raise revenue. So that is what we are focused on this time, promoting more of efficient measures to increase the taxes. And that is why we want to hammer more on the digitalization aspects.
The Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Julie Esiam, called for the simplicity of tax policies to enhance compliance.
Tax policies must therefore be flexible enough to grow and optimize tax revenues in tandem with private sector development. These policies must be simple and easy to understand by everyone and all of us. As we look into the future, as a revenue authority, the Ghana Revenue Authority, we believe that the future tax policy should focus on the simplification of tax handles.
On his part, President of the Chartered Institute of Taxation, Ghana, George Ohenekwetia, advocated a national tax policy to address challenges.
If you have a true national tax policy, that national tax policy will drive the tax agenda. And hence, if it is something that we put in place and every government has to respect it, we will not be getting changes in our tax regimes based on the whims of any given or new government.
The 3-day tax conference is on the theme balancing tax policy and private sector development.
The Orange Growers Association of Ghana has reiterated its commitment to help increase production of the fruit for commercial gains. The group has called on orange farmers across the country to join the association to expand the production and export orange to Africa and across the world. The following report has more.
The association points out that despite the importance of the orange growing industry in Ghana, it is faced with numerous challenges, including post-harvest losses and infestation, poor agronomic practices, lack of ready market, and lack of government interest. Speaking to Joy Business at the inauguration of the association's head office in Akemoda in the Eastern region, the head of business development, Theodore Chidi Kobla, said there is the need to expand the market to help orange farmers.
One of the major challenges that the organization or the association realized for farmers was market access. What the association has done so far is to create access for these farmers by introducing off-takers to the farmers, and this in return has given the farmers direct access to markets that initially were not accessible. We have 3 major off-takers. For example, Anchor buys whole fruits in large quantities.
Narrating how the association was birthed, the board chairman, Nimo Ahinkra, said his son, who returned from abroad, inspired the project to expand and bring all orange farmers under the umbrella.
I realized that I will be going home one day, so I must prepare before I go. So I put up a house in order, and I was wondering how I can maintain the house. And I thought that I should make a farm which will service it. So I acquired the land and planted citrus, oranges. And I'm talking about 1992. And I left it in the care of somebody. I never got a peso from it. So I was contemplating selling the farm and the building. Until my son, Kwabrenimo, trained in Britain, came and he saw the farm. He said, "We will never let this thing go waste. And he would do something about it." I said, "What can you do about it?" He said, "Let's add value to these products."
Currently, the Orange Growers Association operates a structure characterized by 5 levels, namely national, regional, zonal, district, and community.
Still staying on agriculture, in a significant move to support sustainable farming practices, the Cocoa Abrabopa Association has paid a total of 11.5 million Ghana cedis in premiums to cocoa farmers across Ghana. This initiative forms part of the Rainforest Alliance certification program to motivate farmers to adhere to sustainable practices and improve their living conditions. There is more in the following report. The Cocoa Abrabopa Association, a farmer-based organization, has dispersed 11.5 million Ghana cedis in premiums to 7,500 cocoa farmers across 5 regions in Ghana. This payment, known as the Sustainability Differential, is an additional mandatory cash earned by farmers for the 2023-2024 crop season. It aims to encourage adherence to sustainable farming practices under the Rainforest Alliance Certification Program. Ishmaela Pomase is the council chairman for CAA.
We are running RA, certification program, and it's part of the requirement that certificate holders pay a minimum sustainability differential of $70 per ton to the farmer who delivered cocoa. So it is based on this requirement that Cocoa Abrabopa, respecting this requirement, we are also paying this $70 per ton. And when you look at this year, what we are paying, actually we are paying a 65 Ghana cedis per bag, as compared to the 52 cedis, 50 pesos that we paid last year. In total, last year we paid over 9 million Ghana cedis. This year, looking at the cedi depreciation compared to the dollar, we've been able to pay over 11.5 million Ghana cedis as sustainability differential to our farmers. And you can see from the faces of the farmers, there are smiles all over.
Acting Executive Secretary and Chief Finance Manager for CAA, Patrick John Van Brakel, highlighted the key issues confronting farmers.
There were just less beans because of the black crop. And the other big issue is the lack of funding from Cocoa Board to fund the LBCs through the seed fund. And that resulting in that our dedicated Ghanaian LBCs did not have enough money to buy directly from my farmers. So, and then what happens is that the big internationals jump in and they go buying, and my farmers, they can't wait, and they divert their beans to the internationals, and there goes our investments actually, because we don't get anything back from these beans anymore.
Some excited farmers of the association spoke to Joy Business.
Na cocoa no atimi aso na se omo boaya omo de bonus na ba na bonus na yakese na se obi gina nche na se onyi cocoa ni bia onso ani abre na ode ne ho abehye cocoa fu anim asa ma de ye adwuma pa wo ba ye ho a wo ba hwe ma ye fu eda ho a wa wo bo nsema ma ye
dem fa ye cocoa no ko ye den galamsey de ye akuafo na ye wo Abrabopa na de ye de ye ni nye ho kura se de cocoa be ma galamsey fo nti aba no so emma woni so mra a company ya woman, a Abrabopa company, a man named Rahon, and Fisher Kuafon. Yes, we any budget.
We targeted 13,300 metric tons for the season, but unfortunately, due to funding and then the climate change, we couldn't achieve our targets. So we ended up getting 10,500 metric tons exportable cocoa.
The 2024 regional Derby held at Takwa Aboso in the Western South region brought together over 300 cocoa farmers. As part of its corporate social responsibility, the National Insurance Commission has launched the 2024 Insurance Industry Blood Donation Campaign. The campaign aims to mobilize insurance practices across the country to donate pints of blood to the National Blood Bank. Speaking to the media after the launch, Acting Commissioner of the National Insurance Commission, Michael Kofi Ando, noted that the Commission is dedicated to supporting the National Blood Service, Ghana, to save lives.
According to the National Blood Service Ghana, over 300,000 units of blood are needed annually to meet Ghana's blood request. Corporate bodies such as the National Insurance Commission have led the charge to support the National Blood Bank by mobilizing the insurance industry to donate pints of blood annually. In 2023, the National Insurance Commission, together with its stakeholders across the country, donated over 2,200 pints of blood. The Acting Commissioner of Insurance, Michael Kofi Ando, stated the Commission's resolve to save lives through blood donation. He spoke at the launch of the 2024 Insurance Industry Blood Donation Campaign.
2,203 last year. And as you heard the Chief Executive of the National Blood Service say, we need 200,000 pints of blood So I think the minimum we could do is 5,000. So I'm really hoping that at least we'll make 5,000 pints this year.
Special guest of honor at the launch, Major General R.K. Ewusi, called on the general public to support the cause.
Blood is life, and all of us, the reason to donate blood should be the reason to save life. I will encourage everybody to donate. Listening to the CEO of the National Blood Service, we need about 200,000 units of blood a year. So I will encourage everybody to donate blood.
That'll be all for business here on Prime Business. My name is Winston Taki. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of our programs here with sports coming up next.